The mandate essentially is budgeting for outcomes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's the mandate that we've been given, is to try to examine, and it's going to be tough because we're really still trying to figure out what budgeting for outcomes means. So to say that we will probably get it right the first time may not happen, but certainly this year will definitely be a learning experience for us moving forward in years to come about what exactly is budgeting for outcomes, the types of things that we need to be looking for. Is it statistical data? Is it more practical results, things that we can tangibly see? So we're still really trying to figure that out right now, but I think this is going to be a great learning year for us, and I think you'll see a refinement of that process in years to come.
So why this year? Why is it that you've decided, or not you, but the House has decided that the committee chairman should have all of this power? Why not in previous years?
Well, unfortunately, I think that's just the way the General Assembly went, depending on who was in leadership or who was there at the time. They just made decisions about who should actually control the appropriations process. But the way things are now, it's going to be extremely difficult to control who necessarily is at the helm of the appropriations process. And I think really it should be in the hands of the appropriations chairs. I mean, this is why we wanted to get on these committees. This is why we were elected, to be able to make real decisions on behalf of the people that we represent. So I can't speak to past years. I'm just happy to be in the General Assembly this time, to have this opportunity.
But what sets this year apart from all the other years?
Well, again, I'll call it influence to some degree, but again, in past years, and I'm talking some years ago, the appropriations chairpersons were a powerful force down here in the General Assembly, and they had significant say and influence on how those dollars were spent. As things have changed, leading up to this year, that power was concentrated in the hands of the leaders, probably for a number of reasons, many of which I probably can't articulate, but that notwithstanding, again, right now, the opportunity as an appropriations chair to be able to say and have some input on how those dollars are spent, I think is what's really important. And I think that's what all the committee members are looking forward to, whether they're Democrat, Republican, Black, White, Latino, whomever they are. They want to be able to impact children by way of education. And that's what our goal is, and that's what we hope to be able to accomplish.
Is there something that stimulated this change, though, or this shift?
Well, I think it's this whole idea of budgeting for outcomes. There's a representative that put forth this as part of the package that allowed some members to vote for a tax increase. In the last General Assembly, they said, I can only vote for this because we need the revenue, but I have to be able to bring something back to my district. And being able to bring something back, whether it's spending caps or at least changing the way that this process is done, so some of that power is taking out of the hands of the leaders, that's what I need to be able to bring back to my communities, my constituents, in order to support my vote for the increased revenue. So however it came together, again, I'm just happy to be in this position at this given time.
And can you tell me some of the numbers that you're playing with? You said $7 billion, right?
I think for our committee, we will have the opportunity to appropriate just under $7 billion, which equates to about a little over 28% of the total spend here in the state of Illinois. In terms of GRF dollars, equates to about 28% of the total spend based on previous years.
And how did you get to that number?
Well, the number itself is a number. We passed a resolution here in the House that determined what that number is, and that's just a reflection of past years in terms of what was actually appropriated in past years. But to get to the percentage that we're working with, we as appropriations chairs got together at the request of one of our colleagues. They suggested that we do what is called a rolling average of a number of years, and where we take that average and, no matter how you tweak it, percentages are going to go up and down. So, everybody's affected differently, but that rolling average pretty much gave us the best use of percentages in order to come up with 28%, at least for this particular committee, and it was 50% for human services, and then the other three were divided up as well.
All right, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, again, I think this is a great time. This is a historic time, in my opinion, for those of us who are here now to have the opportunity to have this kind of input and influence in the appropriations process. I can guarantee you it won't be easy. There'll be some agencies, some organizations, some lines that unfortunately aren't going to get what they want out of this process. But again, this is a great learning learning process. And again, whether or not we get it right the first time may be a little up in the air, but certainly this is a great learning experience for us, and I know that we'll have greater success in years to come.